In a time when the world still walked in shadows, a civilization emerged with a purpose: to defy death and build for eternity. Its story begins with a single man, Narmer. More than 5,000 years ago in the Nile Valley, a leader unified two kingdoms that had been at odds for centuries, Upper and Lower Egypt. That leader was Narmer, and with his victory, he gave rise to one of the most enduring and mysterious civilizations in human history. Narmer was crowned the first pharaoh. From then on, the kings of Egypt would be considered living gods on earth. He founded Memphis, a strategic city between north and south, which would be the capital and symbol of the new unity. Unification brought stability, and with it, Egypt began to write its destiny in stone, clay, and papyrus. Thus began the period known as the Old Kingdom, an era of powerful kings and colossal dreams. The pharaohs of the Third Dynasty initiated something never before seen: the construction of monumental tombs that pointed to the sky. The Step Pyramid of Djoser, built by the architect Imhotep, was the first of them all and marked the beginning of an obsession. Shortly after, in the Fourth Dynasty, 3 pyramids emerged that would defy time: those of Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure. Khufu commissioned the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. With more than 2 million stone blocks, it remains an enigma to modern engineering. These structures were not just tombs, they were stepping stones to the afterlife. For the Egyptians, death was only the beginning. Religion permeated every aspect of life. They believed in a final judgment, the scales of Maat, and eternal life in the fields of Yaru. Temples stood as homes for the gods. Priests were as powerful as kings. But after centuries of splendor, the pharaoh's power began to weaken. Nobles and regional governors gained influence. With the collapse of central authority, Egypt entered its first intermediate period. It was a time of fragmentation and crisis. During this chaos, Thebes emerged as a new center of power. From there, a lineage emerged determined to reunify the country. Mentuxhotep II succeeded, restoring unity and ushering in the Middle Kingdom, a period of recovery and artistic splendor. During this time, Egypt expanded its influence into Nubia and controlled trade routes that brought it great wealth. Literature flourished, works such as The Eloquent Peasant and the teachings of Ptahhotep still reveal its thinking. However, new invaders arrived. The Hyksos, coming from Asia, dominated the north for more than a century. They used war chariots and bronze weapons, which revolutionized the way of combat in Egypt, but the Theban dynasty resisted. Agmas I finally expelled them, ushering in its most glorious period, the New Kingdom. With warrior pharaohs, Egypt transformed into a military empire, extending its borders to Syria and the Euphrates. One of the first great pharaohs was Thutmose III, a military genius who never lost a single battle. Among so many names, a powerful queen emerged, Hatshepsut. She ruled as pharaoh and built one of the most beautiful temples, Deir el-Bahari. Then came Khanation, the heretic pharaoh. He broke with traditional worship and worshipped exclusively the sun god Aten. His religious revolution was radical. He closed temples, erased the names of gods, and moved the capital to Akhetaten. But after his death, Egypt returned to its ancient beliefs. The young Tutankhamun restored the traditional order. Although he reigned for a short time, his intact tomb, discovered by Howard Carter in 1922, amazed the entire world. The last great pharaoh of the New Kingdom was Ramses II. He reigned for more than 60 years and left behind colossal monuments such as Abu Simbel. Ramses signed the first known peace treaty in history with the Hittites after the famous Battle of Kadesh. After her death, Egypt entered a decline, power fragmented, invasions multiplied, and the economy weakened. The third intermediate period arrived, with local and foreign pharaohs. The country was no longer the great power it had once been. Later, the Persians conquered Egypt, then the Greeks arrived, led by Alexander the Great in 332 BC. He founded Alexandria, a city that became a center of learning. There, the great library attempted to gather all the world's knowledge. The last Egyptian dynasty was that of the Ptolemies, Greeks, ruling both as pharaohs and among themselves. One woman, Cleopatra, stood out. Cleopatra VII confronted Rome, allied herself with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, and tried to save Egyptian independence. But after her defeat and suicide in 30 BC, Egypt became a Roman province. And the ancient world changed forever. Even so, Egypt's heritage endured. Its temples, its gods, its art, and its writing continued to speak to us from the past. It was 3,000 years of history, dynasties, wars, and wonders. 300 years that were not erased by time, but written within it. If you enjoyed this journey through ancient Egypt, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to discover more civilizations that changed the world.